Alright, welcome back to Willow. I'm Kari, and today we're continuing the Random Villager Island Challenge. As a reminder, Piper was our random villager that we got on the first Nook Miles ticket, therefore we are doing a goth theme. So first things first, let's go ahead and complete a little bit of chores. Let's go over to the town services, and I think I was able to upgrade my house, so we'll see if we can put down another loan. So let's go ahead and go over to the town hall and see if we can upgrade our house. Okay, so if you have missed the last episode, I have decided to use a treasure island for this island. So we got max bells, and it doesn't seem as though we have a loan to kind of pay, so I think I might have messed up. Let's talk to Tom Nook here, and we'll see if he can give us our next loan payment that we need to do. I think the last time I forgot that I had to talk to Tom Nook to like confirm the loan and actually like get the upgrade. Okay, so we do have to pay Tom Nook now and get these 700,000 bells out of our inventory and give it to Tom Nook. He's a crook, he doesn't deserve it. But we shall do that to upgrade our storage and hopefully get the infinite storage, because I would like to put everything away. Alright, so next up on our to-do list, let's go ahead and take a look at Nook Shopping and head over there, see what's in store for us, if there's anything new. Ooh, okay, a couple of items in here that are kind of interesting. I have nothing to sell, so we'll just go ahead and see what we can buy. A standing electric sign could be kind of good. We could put it outside of a shop or something. And then we got the antique console table, which could be good decoration for indoors for the house, because we would like to decorate our whole entire house. So we'll need some decorations for that. And then the saxophone could be good, maybe. Maybe we'll put it in the house, maybe we'll put it outside. I'm not really sure. I'll just buy it anyway. I have tons of money. But let's check the cabinet, see if there's anything going on in here. Okay, wallpapers. I don't think there's anything else that I need, so let's head out. Oh, so one thing that I forgot to mention is I have done work off camera. So I was able to put down money on the incline, which we used a brick incline, and a bridge that leads from the shopping center. Right now, it's currently the shopping center, but it will be the abandoned park. And the incline for the neighborhood, so now the villagers can get down. But for now, let's go check and see if anybody's crafting. Oh, also I got Cephalobot on this island as an autofill, so I don't think we'll be using him or keeping him really, but he is pretty cool. I'll definitely want to use him for an island that I have on my Switch Lite. It's mainly like a writer's paradise type thing. It's gonna have like different sections of genres, and I'll be designing them based off of like sci-fi or fantasy. So Piper is the one crafting today. Okay. She gives us a cabin wall, which I already know. We have a veggie basket, which we also already know. Cool, great. This is going well. But we also have a plot open that we need to put down. So we need to move a house over here into the neighborhood development. And then that way we can get all the houses pretty much situated around the neighborhood. So let's go head over to the town hall and we'll do that right now. So I was thinking, we have Piper on the top in the middle because, you know, she's kind of the star villager for our island here. So we have her in the center, but I was thinking we put Zell on the right there because, you know, I like Zell and he should be elevated because he's a really good villager. But we'll go ahead and put him next to Piper's house. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention is that I went in and kind of like redesigned the map a little bit. Everything is essentially the same, but I basically like tweaked out the waterways, or like the rivers rather, and I essentially just like re-terraformed them to look a little bit smoother. I think it looks a little bit better. I think up top where like the castle section is could use a little bit of work, but I'll probably just leave it. You don't know how long it took me to get those rivers to look the way they do right now. But we'll go ahead and put Zell in this empty spot right here. And then that way he is all set up and all the houses are pretty much moved besides the ones that need to go across the island. Alright, so for today we have a lot of work cut out for us. I would really love to get the rest of the terraforming done, and that means we have to finish the entrance and we have to complete the building for the museum. Now the museum I'm thinking is gonna go over in this section over here, but as I'm looking at it, there are a ton of flowers. Why are there so many flowers over here? So I think I'm gonna, like, you know, dump some stuff off. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like dealing with all those flowers right now. The flowers just take up so much space and they take forever to chop down. Or not chop down, but, you know, they take forever to to dig up and then to, you know, sell or move, and then, like, it's just a whole thing. So I think what we're gonna do is work on the entrance first. And I kind of have like a cliffside area that I want to put in the entrance. Looks like you're thinking. What does that even mean? Hello? What's going on? Oh, it's Quilson. You still in love with a steampunk hat? Time for a donation? I don't know what that is. Oh, he gave me the steampunk hat. Okay, cool. I don't know if we'll need that, but thanks, I guess. Alright, so essentially I want to get all of these trees chopped down. I picked up all the fruit, and then we'll just have to, like, replant those somewhere else. I have an orchard going, but I can't decide on what fruit I want to be, like, the main fruit of the island. So in the orchard I have oranges and apples so far set up, which means that we could use oranges or apples for the main fruit, but, like, we'd have to get rid of those trees and put, like, the different fruit in there. I don't know how much fruit I have, like, of the varying fruits. I don't know which ones I have. I don't think I have cherries or pears, but I have peaches, oranges, and apples, I think. So out of those three, what do you think could be a good fruit for, like, a goth island? I'm thinking peaches, which I think is our main island fruit anyway, but we're gonna have to grow a lot of peaches because I kind of ran out. I started chopping all those trees down. Oh no, not my axe. Gosh dang it. Alright, we're gonna have to make a new axe. We'll just go ahead and grab this piece of stone and we'll go ahead and get the branches here. We'll make a flimsy axe and then we'll convert it into the normal axe. Alright, there we go. Oh wait, I don't have any iron on me. I don't feel like going all the way back to my house to grab iron. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and buy one from Nook Shopping. Because apparently you can do that. I literally just learned this recently, that you can literally buy full, like, advanced tools from Nook's shopping, which I had no idea you could do. I always just made my tools, I never bought them. So let me just buy a couple of tools here, and I'll meet you back in a few. Alright, axe acquired. Back to the chopping. The great chopping of 2025. So essentially I want this whole area chopped down because I want, like, a clean slate, which means we're gonna, like, run out of trees. But it's okay, we can always either, like, go get them from Treasure Islands or we can just buy them from Nook Shopping because, you know, we have a ton of money. Like, we literally will not run out of money. At least I don't think so. I don't know if that's possible. But we want this completely cleared so that I have enough room to do cliff terraforming. Because I'm thinking I want cliffs on either side of the entrance. And then I'm gonna put, like, a ritual area on the left side of the entrance. Because I think it'd be kind of cool to have a secluded, like, hidden area that's like a ritual area. I don't know exactly who I want for the villager, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me know if you have any thoughts for villagers that give off ritual vibes. Maybe Violet could do it. She's kind of scary. But I'm kind of using the island map that I had for the, like, plan of the island. I think it was, like, I keep forgetting what the app's called. It's like Happy Home Designer or something, but it's like a little browser on the internet. And you just, like, Google that and it'll, like, basically let you design your whole island. So I'm using that. I have posted it in, or I have posted my island in the posts under my channel. So if you are curious what that looks like and you haven't seen it yet, you can go check it out in the post section. But I was kind of thinking that I want to get, like, multi-level cliffs in the front, and then we're kind of, like, leave a little section to get into the back way of the ritual area. It's gonna be, like, behind the cliffs, or no, to the left of the cliffs rather. So hopefully I can get this to come to fruition. Oh my gosh, I literally just have too much stuff in my inventory. I'm gonna go clear my inventory one more time and I'll meet you back in a few. Alright, so with this area flattened, I think we are ready to jump into the Island Designer app. Ooh, I'm scared. I hope I can make this look as good as, like, you know, I can make it. Like, I don't know if I have a complete vision in my head, but we're gonna try our best. And at the end of the day, that's all you can do. So I essentially want to map out the area of the outside of the cliff and get like an outline ready. And then that way, it shouldn't make the cliff building so hard. I think it'll make it easier if we kind of like outline the path of like where we want the ring of the cliffs to kind of go. And I do want this lined up with resident services in a way. I want it to kind of hit resident services. Not necessarily touch it on this side, but I want it to like be lined up to where the top of the cliff is in line with the resident services plaza. So I think that'll look good. But yeah, so I'm just gonna try and make a natural looking cliff here. I don't exactly know how to do that, but with keeping an eye on the map and, you know, just randomly placing cliffs, I think we can maybe get there. Oh, so fun thing. Did y'all see the recent Nintendo Direct? I think it was on the 12th. I think it was on a Friday. But the Nintendo Direct, I didn't watch it or anything. I just kind of like, I think I slept during it. So I just looked at the games on YouTube afterward. Because you know how they have like the game sectioned off? And they're like, oh, here's a video about this game that's coming out. Or here's a video about this game that's coming out. So I basically just took that and like looked at the games that I thought were interesting. Now, guys, have you heard of the Pokemon Pokopia? I think that's how you say it. I don't really know, but that's what I'm calling it. But Pokemon Pokopia is basically like Pokemon had a baby with Animal Crossing, and I could not be more excited. Like, I think it's gonna be a Switch 2 only game, which is kind of unfortunate, which, you know, means I have to get a Switch 2. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. I'm basically waiting to get a Switch 2 until the new Animal Crossing comes out. But Pokemon Pokopia is essentially Animal Crossing. So I'm quite interested to see how that looks, how that's gonna play, and I think it's like a day one get for me. So I might have to get a Nintendo Switch 2, which I'm not quite happy about because, you know, they're like $500, but is what it is, I suppose. But I saw that and I thought that game was like really interesting. That got me really excited. I think everything else is kind of meh. Oh, there was what was it? Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, I don't remember. But the Mario Galaxy games look kind of cool. But I heard like people were really upset about what do you call it? People were upset about like the pricing of Super Mario Galaxy. So I don't know if it's like fair to assume that that's gonna be a popular game. Ooh, okay. So our cliff is looking decent right now. Let's go on top, and I want to add this like, I want this cliff up front to be a multi-layered cliff, but I don't want the other cliff that we're gonna make in front of it, or I guess behind it. I don't want the other cliff that we're gonna make to be a multi-layered cliff. I just want this one to be like that. So let's go ahead and just make like a random assortment of cliffside here. And then we'll just kind of map everything out together, make it a little bit windy. But yeah, so Pokemon Pokopia looks very interesting. Now I do know that Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out, I think, in October. But I haven't heard anything about multiplayer. You know, if you play Pokemon, you might know that like the Violet and Scarlet and Violet had multiplayer in the sense that you could like roam around together. It wasn't multiplayer in the sense that you could like battle with each other, but it was like you could see each other while you were like in the map together. So I haven't seen anything about that for Legends ZA, but there is like a multiplayer like battle mode, and to be honest, if that's gonna be the only multiplayer aspect of that game, I don't think people are gonna be happy. Just because, like, you know, Arceus, I know, didn't have multiplayer, so maybe that's why they're not going with multiplayer in ZA, because ZA is a continuation of Arceus. But I think it would be kind of like weird to not have multiplayer in ZA, in the sense of like the multiplayer that Scarlet and Violet had. And if they just have these like battle systems where it's like, oh, it's like a competition against your friends or whatever, and you have to see who can catch the most Pokemon, I don't think that's gonna like bode well with, you know, customers. Or Pokemon fans rather. I thought that Scarlet and Violet had a pretty good multiplayer system. I know it kind of got like trashed in the beginning because I think the servers weren't good or something. But I still think it was pretty good, and it, you know, improved over time. People are just impatient and don't wait for things, but also companies should have things polished before they release things, so I don't know. It's a catch-22, I guess. Random topic though, I have heard Borderlands 4, you know, it just came out if you're unaware, but Borderlands 4 is having like performance issues, and a lot of these like new AAA games are becoming like not polished when they're released, which is kind of ridiculous because they have the highest price tags, right? Like they're the price tags that are like $60 base game, or 70 I guess now, and then like 80 and 90 for like super deluxe and deluxe editions. So it's kind of crazy that like games that are the most expensive are the ones that are like the least polished and like ready for departure into like, you know, like Steam or the PlayStation Store or Microsoft Store. But it's kind of ridiculous how gamers are having to pay more money for a game that's not necessarily like polished all that well. Because if you think about it, it's like, you know, the games are just not up to par like of how they used to be. Like, yeah, they might like look better and stuff, but they just don't play well. Just because like companies are not worried about performance. So like, oh, we'll fix that in post. So they like try and get all the content ready, which is fine. But it's like performance not doing well at the beginning of a game is drastically gonna like hurt your reviews, because if it doesn't perform well and people are paying like $80 for a game, they're gonna get mad and they're gonna like review bomb. So it's kind of crazy how people are not prioritizing performance and stuff when it comes to AAA games. But yeah, basically AAA gaming is just not up to the standard that it was maybe like a few years ago. And it seems like indie games are starting to make a come up, which is kind of cool. You know, because AAA games are corporate and they just want money. They don't care about, you know, the consumer at all. So they're like, yeah, this will make money, and then they just release it and it's crap. People buy it because it's a AAA company. And then people get mad. It's like, well, what did you expect, first of all? But also, I understand your pain. Alright, so looking at the map, I think I want the top cliff to kind of come closer to the bottom cliff. So I think what we're gonna do is like work our way down a bit more. Because I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a tighter entrance into the area that's gonna be like the ritual place. So I think that'll be fun to have. So let's kind of work this cliff down further. Yeah, so I think I want this closer to the bottom cliff. I think this looks pretty decent so far. Alright, so I think I've created quite a cute little like entrance into here with these two cliffs. It's kind of like a little diagonal shaping entryway, and I think that is perfect for the ritual area. Maybe the house will kind of go like over here, but we'll have to play around with it later. We're gonna destroy this bridge over there too. We gotta figure out where the house is gonna go, but I think we'll figure that out later. Alright, so the next terraforming project that I want to do is the museum area. So I think that means we have to unfortunately clear out all these flowers, which I am not looking forward to because it is going to be a pain. So let's start chopping some trees. Why are there so many? Oh my god, no! No, there's a wasp! Run! Ah! Get me out of here! Move, cat! Oh god, okay. I made it. Alright, so I'm just gonna like chop down all these trees and remove all the stumps, pick up all the items, and we're gonna have to move these flowers, and I think we'll just sell these ones because I think, are these cosmos? I can never remember. Or they're pansies. I don't know. They're cosmos or pansies. I think they're pansies. But we want roses for this island, so we will not be needing basically any of these. So we can just pick them up and sell them to Nook's Cranny. That way we just don't have them on the island anymore and we don't have to keep moving them. Oh my gosh, this area is such a mess. Why did I have to put all the flowers here? Ooh, you know what? I just realized something. I want to make it untraversable to the left side of the entrance. I want to make it to where you can't get through. Because I think it'd be kind of cool to like have a little secret area. So let's see. So I want to make this to where you can't walk by, and then see how that looks on the map as well. But yeah, if we can't traverse through here, I think that'd be like a little bit better, because then you have to come through the entrance. And then you can't like sneak off to the little secret on the left. So let's check this on the map, see how it looks. Let's see. Okay, I think that looks okay. So we'll keep that there. And then I also forgot that I needed to do the right side of the entrance. We're essentially gonna make another big cliff here. And I kind of want it to be bigger than the one on the left. And it's gonna take up more space and kind of go up towards the resident services, just because I want to kind of lead people into the resident services before they go and adventure through the rest of the island. And I think that'll be a better idea. So this is gonna kind of come out very far and then create like a bigger mountain, so to speak. Oh yeah, but if you missed the last episode, I did say that I am going to use treasure islands. Now I did go to quite a few treasure islands, I think. If I'm remembering correctly, it's kind of been a minute. But I went and gathered up some money, and I think I gathered some gothic items as well. So we're gonna use those to decorate. I figured, you know, this series has been going on for like how long? Like a couple months. And you know, if we keep going through it without treasure islands, then we're never gonna get this thing done. So, I personally would like to move on to like the next thing. I want to get this island decorated and done. Not because like, you know, I don't want to do it anymore. It's just like, I have more ideas. So, I think, getting this done with treasure islands is a good idea. Is it my preference? No. But at the end of the day, we gotta keep the content moving, right? But no, like, I think the treasure islands is a good idea, just for this series. Now, if I was doing like, you know, a 30-day series where I made it clear that like I wasn't going to use treasure islands and it was like actually 30 days in the sense of like posting every single day for 30 days, then I wouldn't use the treasure islands. But I think for this like casual playthrough, like a little challenge to like decorate an island via like your first Nook Miles ticket villager, then I think it's fine to use like a treasure island. Obviously, it's not my most preferred method of playing. If I was playing on my own time, then yeah, I wouldn't use a treasure island. But I would like to get this series moved along in a timely manner and not spend like 3 years trying to get this island done. So I think treasure islands was a good call. Let me know what other like series that you think is fine to use a treasure island for. I do want to do a 30-day series at some point. I just gotta figure out the spaces for like recording times and how to actually get those done in 30 days. I also have another challenge up my sleeve that I will not mention quite yet, but I think it'll be quite interesting to do. Make things a little bit harder and a bit more interesting. But alright, so I think this is gonna be the entrance to the island. And to be honest, this looks kind of good. Let's take a look at the map. It's a bit wide on the right side. So let's see if we can trim this down a bit, make it look a little bit better. But I think I'm gonna actually add another layer to this right side cliff here. And then that way we can like decorate it a bit better and have like trees and bushes and flowers. So the goal for today is just to get all the terraforming done, or at least the majority of it. The next episode would probably be like a decorating style thing where we start, or no, a pathing style episode. Because I do want to get the pathing laid out for the plaza so that I know kind of like where the shops need to go. But in order to do that, we need to get like terraforming done. So that's why we are doing the terraforming today. But yeah, I think getting the terraforming done first is kind of like a good way to do it, at least in my head, because it'd be nice to get all the sections done like one at a time and be like, oh, like, you know, we did the terraforming for the castle, so let's go ahead and do the terraforming, or let's go ahead and do the decorations for the castle. But at the time that I completed the castle terraforming, I didn't have the items that I needed, which I still don't actually. I need to order more castle walls and gates, I think. I think that'll be easy to do as we are absolutely rich out of our mind right now. Oh! I just had a brilliant idea. Hang on, wait. Hear me out. Let me get on top of this cliff. Let's go all the way up. All the way up. Alright. So what if we start adding a little bit of like waterfalls over here? Right? We add some like water to these cliffs. I think that'll kind of bring it alive a bit more, make it more aesthetic. So let's see what we can work with here. I don't know if I like this tiny waterfall here. But it doesn't seem like I can make like a pond on the top, which kind of sucks. I guess it's just the way that the cliff is. So the cliff is like too small in the sense of like adding water. So I think we'll leave it like a tiny little waterfall there. And then, oh, you know what? We can like wrap it around this lower cliff here. I wanted to like hit that corner and like tuck into the corner, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. Oh, what about this? What if we make like a little wraparound stream that like brings one waterfall to like the other? Ooh, that could be really cute. Oh my god, that looks so cute! Yes! Okay, so what if we go on top and we make like another waterfall on the other side? Oh, this is so cute! Look how cute this is! It's like a little infinite waterfall. Oh my gosh. That is adorable. I love that. Okay, so let's go to the other side and see what we can do over here. Okay, so let's go to the other side and see what we can do over here. One fun thing that I'm doing on my Switch Lite is I kind of like briefly mentioned it before, but I kind of want to go into more detail about it. I started an island. I started like 4 islands and I was like, oh, I need a theme. I want to find a theme. But I couldn't find anything that was like interesting to me until I was like, you know, I like the creative writing aspect. I kind of like, you know, story creating and all that stuff. So I was like, well, I think what I should do is make like quote unquote like a writer's retreat on my Animal Crossing island. And what I mean by that is my house is going to be like, you know, the writer's house, right? That's where I live. That's where like the writing gets done. That's where, you know, inspiration comes from and all that. And then the rest of the island is gonna be more of like split themes of like sci-fi, fantasy, horror, you know, different types of like genres that I think would be fun to implement into the island. Basically what I'm doing is I need to like still design that island, and I saw this one picture of an Animal Crossing island map that was used like, or it was made by the Happy Island designer program thingy on the internet. And what they did was like, they had river mouths that connected from like the bottom to the left, but they didn't connect those two rivers. And I was like mind blown, because I was like, what? Like in my head, like those two rivers like need to be connected. But the way that they did it was they created like a little, like they went up and to the right for the bottom one, and then up into the top, or right into the top for the left one. So they created like little ponds essentially, and then like created waterways throughout the island and like separated things that way. And oh my gosh, if I could find that island again, I'd be so happy, because it was so pretty. Like, I want to create something like that. I think it'd be so cool to like, you know, not have the rivers connect and just have like intricate waterways throughout the map, instead of just like one giant river that connects from one side to the other, you know? So maybe we'll start trying to implement that stuff in further builds, because I think my brain is a little bit like too structured. So I'll be like, oh yeah, the bottom must connect to the top, you know? But I think it's fun to not do that and think outside the box as well. So I'm quite curious to see like how this writer's fantasy thing is gonna go. It's basically gonna be like a story in and of itself. So like, you know, sci-fi will have like, you know, aliens, spaceships, stuff like that. And then fantasy will have like magical castle or like enchanted forest. And then like the horror stuff is gonna be like really cool as well, because I got all the Halloween items and all that stuff too. So I'm pretty excited about the Writer's Island, and maybe once it's done and I like it, we'll do like a tour on the channel, because it is on my Switch Lite, so I can't like record it unfortunately. But once it's done, I'll like do a dream address, and then we'll get a tour done of it. Do you guys miss the tours? Should I do more Animal Crossing tours? Because I kind of miss them myself. They were fun, they were quick, they were easy. But I also like to see what everybody else kind of like does for their island, and kind of get more like knowledge of how people make these islands. So maybe we'll do a couple more tours like spread out through here and there. It won't replace like, you know, the Friendsgiving video, and it won't replace the random villager video. So maybe there'll be like additional videos added into the week. So let me know if dream addresses or dream tours are something that you'd be interested in watching again, because I did do a few of those and I thought they were really fun. Alright, so looking at this entrance, I'm kind of wanting like more water on the right side of the cliff facing the entrance. So I gotta figure out how to do that, because I would like more water shown in that camera angle that we just had. So I think we gotta like fix the cliffs or something, so this is gonna be interesting. Oh, we could also do scavenger hunts on the channel. I've seen like, I think Nintendo Talk do scavenger hunts, where basically, if you don't know what a scavenger hunt in Animal Crossing is, it's essentially just like you find like a list of items, or you like make your own little list of items that you want to make or find. So like, for example, if you're doing like a Halloween scavenger hunt, you could put like pumpkins on your list, the spooky arch, you could put any of the spooky like carriages or spooky items and stuff like that. And then basically you go and do like random dream address tours. So in the dream address area, you can select like surprise me or whatever, and you can go on like a random tour and try to find like a list of items that match like the theme that you're trying to do. So I kind of want to do one of those, 'cause I think it'd be kind of fun. So maybe we'll try to implement something like that in as well. Let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in, because I think it would be quite fun. But yeah, we could do like Halloween scavenger hunts, we could do fall scavenger hunts. Coming up is like Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, you know, so there's so many different scavenger hunt ideas that we could do with it. And then That way it's more content for you guys, and I think it'd be super fun. Alright, so let's take a look at the entrance. Ooh, okay. So I kind of like this idea. The waterfall is not my favorite. I wanted to connect the top waterfall and the one to the right of me, but the only way to do that was to make a front-facing waterfall. It's not bad. It kind of looks cool. So I like it. I think the winding waterfall from like the top that leads all the way to the bottom one, I think is really cute. I don't know how I did that, but I think it was really cute. Alright, so last thing that we have to do is clear out all these godforsaken flowers. I somehow made a blue flower, which I think is really rare, but I don't know how to do that. So I don't know how that happened. But I'm going to clear out the space over here for the museum terraforming, and I'll meet back with you in a few. Okay, this space is finally all cleared out. So I think what I want to do is essentially, I was originally going to just make like a rounder oval for the shape of the cliff for the museum. But I think what I'm actually going to do is embed it into the outline of the map, where the beach and like the greenery like collide. So I think that'd be fun. So I think I'm just gonna like outline the sides of this and then just kind of create like a random pathway for the cliff. And this is where the museum's gonna go. Now we don't want it to be like too big because we do want room for the plaza. And we want room for like decorations and maybe like a cafe and stuff like that. But we want it large enough to where we could decorate outside of the museum, maybe push some statues down, stuff like that. So again, I'm just gonna like outline it and go from there. But yeah, I think some of the like dream address tours coming back could be really fun. It gives not only like me inspiration, but like maybe it could help you guys with any inspiration that you need for like your own islands. I'm sure y'all are pro editors and designers and stuff like that, so it's really just for me. But with that being said, I think it'd be fun to tour some Halloween islands as well. Do like a Thanksgiving tour, obviously, Christmas tour, obviously, but also just tour islands in general. Kind of get like the random scavenger hunts done as well. I think that'd be fun. We just maybe make a list of things that would be kind of fun to spot, and then kind of go from there. We could do like villager hunts as well on tours, or scavenger hunts, to where like we want to find Lucky, so like we just tour islands until we find like certain villagers like Lucky or Piper or stuff like that. I think villager hunts in scavenger hunt tours, dream tours, could be like really fun as well. So maybe we'll do some of that too. But yeah, it was so funny. I was just browsing YouTube one day and I was like, I saw like Nintendo Talk was up streaming and I was just like, I saw him say like scavenger hunt and he had like, you know, little bubbles for like the items that he was trying to find. And I was like, what the heck is a scavenger hunt in Animal Crossing? Like, I've never heard of it before, so I was so confused. And then I clicked on the stream and I was like, okay, let me see what this is. And then like once I understood what it was, I was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. Like, that is so cute to like do the random tours, because like I wanted to use the random tour feature before, but I was like, I don't know what I would really use it for. And what if like you get like a really like weird island that's just not like done, but like I guess most people wouldn't upload their islands to a dream address unless they were like finished and probably 5 stars. So I guess there's that. But I wanted to use the random feature, just, you know, do like random tours as well. But the scavenger hunt could be like super fun as well. I just don't know how long it would take. It might take a really long time to find all the items that I'm looking for by using that random feature. Let me know in the comments if scavenger hunts is something that you'd be interested in for the channel. Okay, so looking at the map, this kind of looks like a good space for the museum. It gives us room to actually place the museum, and it gives us room to decorate outside of it. And then it also leaves space for the plaza to kind of come together. So I think that looks good. Yeah, this looks like a good enough space for the museum and a couple decorations to go up. Maybe we'll create like a pond and out of like a fountain and stuff like that, along with statues. So that'll be super, super cute. And we'll get an incline in here at some point, somehow. We gotta figure out how we're doing the plaza first, I think. Alright, that is gonna wrap up day 19 of the Random Villager Island Challenge. If you are enjoying this series, be sure to drop a like down below. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future Animal Crossing content. But that's gonna do it for this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!